Hi, everyone. Uh, so this is my first official presentation in front of crowd because I have been working remotely for the last 3 years. So please bear with me while I navigate this. Again, as you all know, I'm Chinni. I'm going to walk you through how we automated our business intelligence systems or workflows using Apache Airflow. Again, I'm going to talk about the problems we faced with our legacy setup, how we solve them using Airflow, and what our architecture look like using Airflow, and the key lessons that we have learned in implementing this Airflow setup. Again, by the end of the session, I'm pretty confident that you see automation using Airflow not only saved us time, also it built trust and quality of data. Again, the core problem. For all the small and very mid-sized teams, that's the regular setup. We have a transactional system, which is a SQL server, and we have an on-prem data warehouse. We used an ETL tool, which is 20 years old, which we deploy 20 years old. And also the manual dashboards, which we have on the top of the on-prem data warehouse. We used to manually refresh it, manually distribute the dashboards to our stakeholders and business users. So this is the traditional setup. But the thing is, this particular setup actually caused many issues. It worked fine for a while until we have very low data volumes. It worked perfectly fine. But as the business grew and the transactions exploded, again, this legacy architecture actually became a bottleneck for us. And the thing is, the refresh cycles actually slowed down drastically. So we used to get complaints from customers and stakeholders that the dashboard hasn't been updated for the last 6 to 8 hours. And at the same time, there are few cases where we receive complaints from customers that did not get the dashboard updated for 24 hours. And that's a big issue. And at the same time, the dependencies between our jobs are very fragile. I mean, if one ETL job breaks, it's going to mess up our entire report chain, and it actually created delayed deadlines as we did not meet the business requirements. So we went back to the drawing board and we kind of came up with these three things. So we always wanted to have a proper automation, and also we kind of wanted a built-in reliability and also elastic scalability. So when I talk about automation, the critical thing for us is we always wanted to have end-to-end automation from extraction to insights delivery and distribution. So we tried to have a 0% zero human intervention, and also reliability. Coming to reliability, we have automatic retries, intelligent error handling, proactive alerts, and full visibility. We always try to have these things, but we kind of accomplish these things with the help of different third-party tools. But we always wanted to have all these features in one single tool. And the third one is scalability. We kind of add and remove many of our data sources on a timely basis. So we always look for one tool that actually help us to scale without doing a lot of remodification to our architecture. All these three things or three goals actually led us to a tool called Airflow. And this Airflow perfectly checks all the boxes that we have, and it can natively integrate with the existing Python skill set that we have on the team. Again, you all know like Python is open source. Again, Airflow is open source, Python based, visual DAG architecture, native orchestration features. All this is pretty cool. But one thing actually stood out for us is seamless integration. The reason for that is we have so many tools out there in our company wherein we invested millions of dollars like Databricks, AWS, Tableau, Power BI, but still we are not leveraging it to the full potential. So that's the problem. And we kind of look at a tool which can seamlessly integrate with the existing technology or tools or process that we already have. And Airflow stood out in that particular aspect. Once Airflow gave us the confidence about seamless integration, we kind of ramped up our architecture redesign a little bit. So instead of having everything on-prem in the form of data warehouse, we kind of tried to migrate it to cloud. So with only Airflow, we got that confidence and we kind of redesigned our architecture. Again, Airflow is important, connecting each stage, ensuring data flow smoothly without delays and missed dependencies. Coming to the new architecture, again, as I said, like previously, we had a transactional source. At the same time, we have a AWS S3 landing layer where we do our data validation, and also we collaborate with data engineers in order to develop PySpark scripts in Databricks, and we use those notebooks in our orchestration process in ETL so that we have processed data in Delta tables in Databricks. And again, as previously mentioned, we have Tableau and Power BI sitting on the top of Databricks. Uh, the critical thing for a BI engineer is integration with BI tools. So once we have the process data in Databricks, uh, the two critical things that we looked at is automated refresh and also smart notification. So once the data is processed, Airflow triggers our Power BI and Tableau dashboards using APIs. And at the same time, it validates the data before updating the dashboard so that end users have more accurate dashboards and reports possible. Finally, after doing all the stuff, it actually alerts business users in Slack and also through email notifications so that they get to know the timeliness of the data refresh. And again, this is the most critical part. We tried to accomplish this with other tools, but we were not able to complete that. But with the help of Airflow, we were able to do this thing. And this completes our entire cycle from ingestion to insights. Again, I was talking about the high level architecture till now, but if we go into our DAGs a little deep, so these are the four things we try to embed in our DAGs. So we go with parameterized templates. We used with configuration driven approach. It actually reduces the deployment rate by 80%, development rate by 80%. And at the same time, we went ahead with event-based triggers. So previously we used to rely heavily on fixed schedules. But again, whenever there is a new file that comes to S3, the Airflow is going to pick that file and it's going to trigger the processing pipeline, and we have the most updated data possible. And SLA monitoring is very critical for us because there, as I said previously, there are multiple complaints from the stakeholders about the dashboard refresh. So we kind of implemented SLA monitoring in our DAGs so that if something is taking way more time than it's expected to be, we immediately jump in and try to fix it at a very early stage so that it won't affect business timelines. And at the same time, intelligent retries, we used to have problems with two things. One is the transitive errors and also persistent errors. Transient errors, Airflow 100%, it was able to accomplish those things without any intervention. At the same time, persistent errors, again, we get called on call and we could immediately jump in and try to fix the things as soon as possible. Again, these are the little code snippets that we used for event-based triggers and real-time monitoring in our Airflow DAGs. Again, coming to the results, these are the key metrics we tracked, and there was 70% reduction in manual intervention. This is very critical because I was looking at a survey that's published recently, and 50% of BI engineers, they spend most of their time fixing things rather than working on more advanced analytics. So we were able to buy that time back, and we are kind of investing that time on building more advanced analytics for the teams. And also we are kind of working on the more buzzwords like agents, AI agents, and stuff like that. And also data refresh. As I mentioned previously, it used to be 24 hours data refresh in some cases, but we made sure every critical business process is well under 2 hours. And also zero missed SLAs in the last 6 months. Previously, that used to be not the case. And also 100% data trust. This is very critical for us because even if it's 99.99% accurate, business users are not going to trust the data. So it should be 100%. And fortunately, we were able to accomplish that using Airflow. The key lessons that we have learned in this process, and maybe if someone is starting to build using Airflow, these will be very helpful. I would say, like, start small and scale smart. So what I mean by that is, you might be using a very minimalistic data source. First, work on that so that it gives teams confidence to build on the bigger architectures at a later point in time. Also, prioritize DAG readability. So when I say prioritizing of DAG readability, you need to have a clean naming convention and also a very modular codes in our DAGs, and also everything should be documented properly. And the third one is implementing monitoring early. So we learned it the hard way. We did not focus much on implementing monitoring early stages, but later we faced issues with that. So if someone is trying to use Airflow for the first time, yes, try to focus on implementing those monitorings early so that you could actually fix things at much earlier than you expect. And establishing a clear ownership. Yes, we need to tag our DAGs with the right ownership. That's very essential. Also, we need to have runbooks in order to troubleshoot our DAGs. That's also a very crucial thing. That's the lesson we learned. And again, treat DAGs like code. So again, the thing is, you need to have a proper code review, proper version control, all that stuff which you do for software engineering, because it will help your Airflow setup to last longer. Again, if someone would have asked me 3 years ago, like, if there is a single tool that could solve all your problems, my answer would have been no for that. But after working closely with Airflow for 2.5 years, I could confidently say that Airflow became the backbone of our BI operations, from operational confidence, speed to insights, and also scalable structures. The initial aim that we had, all those things were accomplished with the help of Airflow.